All right, guys, let's get today's party started. This is Life Organization Hacks. And guys, I don't know about you, but a lot of problems in my life are because of other people, I'll say first. And I get a macro. I start to look back at what happened when I've got bad days and things going crazy, running my business and everything, my businesses. And a lot of it's from other people. But guess what? Sometimes when I honestly take a look at stuff, it's my fault. We like to point the finger outward and say it's the government's fault, the world's fault. People are just against. Sometimes you're against yourself by being disorganized. And who wants to live that way? So today I'm going to give you guys a couple hacks and some mindsets of what I do in my life. And a lot of these are just small. Some of them are small examples, some of them are big. But when you start to think about running your life like a business, about organizing things like time with your kids, time for yourself, time to educate yourself, cooking, cleaning, preparing things, like you wake up in the morning and sometimes you're disheveled and discombobulated, and the first thing in the morning I think really sets off your day. If you have something bad where you can't find your car keys, and you're scrambling, the kids are late for school or you're just late for work or something like it just sets the mode, the tone, and it's horrible. So let's organize and fix that stuff so we can live a better, resilient, smooth, happy life. So all right, excuse the background noise. This is my vehicle. I'm podcasting live from my F350 7.3 liter diesel pickup truck. And I'd also like to say, guys, please like and subscribe. I know people say, I never really say it in the first portion, but I'm kind of saying it today for some weird reason because it really helps the algorithms, keeps the show going. So my first one that I got here on my notes is utilizing freezers. Now I've got 3 freezers. I've got 2 chest freezers and I have a refrigerator with a freezer on top. This is my outdoor survival preparedness kind of deal, and also just to keep my life organized. And what I noticed is I'm not that organized. I used to be till I had kids and they start grabbing things out of the freezer and not marking them down. Now I thought that I had, say, 20 packages of seal milled beef, some hamburger. Well, I only have 19. They'll take stuff out and they won't tell me. So if you could put a lock on it is what I did. And when you guys are hungry, you ask me and I bring things out. But I've got to have a list. So that's basically what I did, is emptied out all of my freezers, my chest freezers, my top shelf freezer over my fridge. And I got on my app on my phone, which is the notes on my iPhone, and I wrote down hamburger. And I put a little star right next to each one, or you can put a number, just to know what I have. And every time I make it due diligence, I mark down that I took one out. And I know exactly what I have in stock, what I have in inventory, especially when you have that amount. There's the food shortage scares that was happening, and regardless whether it's food shortage scares, I like to have a full freezer full of meat regardless of what's happening, because it just makes life easier for meal planning and stuff like that. You really don't have to go out shopping. If there's ingredients you missed or something something you wanted to cook, you absolutely cannot cook it. There's always stuff in the freezer to just to fix that problem. All right, so yeah, not only do you want to have a list to know everything that you have, but you also want to label it. Hello, I didn't label it, so I had some artichoke spinach dip with like jalapeno hatch chilies in there, and it was just stuff like jalapenos and stuff like that. I made stuffed chicken breast with it, really yummy, good stuff. Made it from scratch, and when I put it in the freezer, I put it in a Ziploc bag, and lo and behold, it turned like a light yellow color. It was hard. I didn't even know what it was. Now, I do a lot of stuff in mason jars. I do a lot of stuff in Ziploc bags at the moment. And anybody who knows me is going to say, what? I thought you were here to save the world and make a difference. I am. It's just I'm killing myself by being a single dad, running my own businesses and everything going on, that I literally figured out, you know what? In order to organize myself better, I'm just going to have to utilize this. And utilizing that time using plastic is going to make me be able to figure things out and design my life where I'll never have to use it ever again. So I don't know why I feel like I have to justify it, but I just feel very bad about using plastics. But yeah, these Ziplocs, try to find the ones that have like a little label. It has like this little foggy area, like a little triangle, and the ones I have, I use a permanent marker and I write down what it is, so that way when it freezes, I know exactly what it is. And one thing I will tell you guys about Ziploc bags is that you can freeze stuff flat, and like tortillas basically, and these bags, and once they freeze flat, you can stack them on each other, and it's way more useful of space and time. It's just very convenient. But beyond marking all your mason jars and everything that's in your freezer that's doesn't have a label on it, You also need to put the date. I had stuff that was about a year and a half old, you know, some fish and stuff like that. Opened it up, it got freezer burned. So dates on everything is kind of nice so that you're not wasting, and that's a huge life hack for me. My next one is Munchie Foods, and that's what I keep in the freezer. Am I proud of it? No, I got this dad bod going on with this enormous, embarrassing belly, and I've been trying to lose weight. But you know what? Every now and then, I'm not sitting here like a diehard, like never, ever, ever. You know, I like to treat myself sometimes. And, you know, my kids would be late at night, you know, and we got the munchies, you know. We don't do it all the time. We have self-control. So I got like frozen pizzas in there, mozzarella cheese sticks, you know, some chicken wings and things like that I can just throw in my air fryer or in my barbecuer. And snappity snap, there it goes. You know, you may say, well, Adrian, you know, it tastes so much better to have a, you know, a fresh pizza. Yes, it does, but actually it doesn't. It doesn't taste good to your the mouth of your wallet, because where I live out in the country, you're looking at $50. You know, my daughter had her friends over, and there was like 5 of us in the house. I had to get 2 extra large pizzas from Round Table, I think it was, and that was like $55, $60. When I can go buy some frozen pizzas, and guess what's stocked in my freezer? Tomato sauce or pasta sauce stuff that I can put on top. I've got extra mozzarella cheese that I can sprinkle on. I've got frozen what do you call it, spinach. I got zucchini. I got mushrooms. I even have canned artichoke hearts and stuff. Like, I can doctor up a frozen pizza that'd make your head spin completely off your shoulders. So yeah, Munchie Foods, definitely a plus. Leftovers, same thing. I think we're going to talk about batching everything that you can. When I cook, like for instance last night, I made a bunch of what is that, broccoli beef, and I made extra, and way more extra than what I need. I bagged that up, put it in the freezer, and next thing I know, I've got some total meal prep with rice and all that, where all I got to do is thaw it out and cook it, and batch stuff. So yeah, batch a lot of cookware. Utilize your freezers for time, for leftovers. You know, especially because you eat stuff one night, maybe the second night. By the third night, you're like, okay, I need something different, or I want something different. Just don't throw it away. Don't waste it. Just throw it in the freezer. All right, emergency preparedness is what I was talking about. The whole food scare thing is my next note. Yeah, obviously the food shortages, I don't know, maybe they will come, maybe if they won't, but to organize my life, regardless of whether that's happening or not, my freezer is stocked. And I'll tell you, one of the hacks that I looked at was you can get meats like canned tuna, chickens, and beef, and all kinds of beans, all this kind of stuff. But you know what? In my opinion, you need vegetables. And they flash freeze, it is said, vegetables at their peak ripeness, and they'll be for the flavor and everything. So you have these perfectly like broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, peas, like all kinds of like stir fries and stuff like that, peas, corn, anything you could, or almost anything you could think of. Spaghetti noodles, which are really cool if you're eating paleo like me, speaking of trying to get rid of the dad bod. But that's what really helped me for emergency preparedness, you know, in case there's a power outage, a big storm, an earthquake, or a food supply chain shortage. And we got all that stuff all in there. It relieves a lot of stress in my life knowing that, dude, I've got probably like 3 months worth of food. If it came down to it, probably like 4 with all the dry goods and everything I have. So really good to have that to organize your life. Now my next note is work, school, clothes. And these are one of those little things, right? I was saying in the morning, you get up, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a piece of crap. I got eye boogers hanging off my eyelashes. I haven't drank coffee in over 10 years. I don't have migraines anymore because so. Like to share that little note. But you know what? In the morning, I'm scrambling to get my clothes together and stuff like that. And if you guys go and prepare stuff, what I've done is I made like little clothes burritos, like for my kids. There's a jacket. Lay the jacket down on the bed. Take your pair of pants, socks, underwear, shirt, whatever you need. Put it all in a bundle and wrap it up. Actually, the jacket's not that good of an example because you're going to wear the coat every single day. I keep mine up on the side of my bed. But I take my t-shirt, my pants, and all that, and I have everything rolled up. So I unroll it like a burrito, put my socks on, take off my pajamas, put my pants on, my shirt, put my jacket on. Bam, I'm ready to go. Same thing with my kids. You don't have to go fumbling through the drawers wondering what you got, you know, for the day. I actually pre-plan on Sundays when I do all my chores, and we get everything all set up for the whole week so that it's just grab and go. And you think that these things are just mundane, little stupid things, but you know what? They add up. Just like I was telling you guys about the keys. Well, keys, phone, wallet, purse, etc. How many times you guys waking up and couldn't figure out if you left your keys on the kitchen table or where your cell phone was at? I doubt many people, they usually sleep with their phones nowadays. But your wallet, I have a backpack which is in the back seat here of my vehicle. All of my keys, my wallet, everything always goes in there. I've got everything I need, my pocket knife and stuff like that. Everything is in there. If not, it's in my pants pocket every day, ready to go for me. So placing a jar or a vase, do something decorative. Place those items in there every day and make a habit of it so that you don't have that bad day where you're scrambling for everything. So see how much we made life easier? You wake up in the morning, clothes are already set. You could even do some meal prep where you have breakfast like chia pudding or oatmeal and things like that in a jar where you just pull it out, put it in the microwave or eat it cold, slap it on the table, bam, everybody's got a healthy meal and you're ready to go. All right, making time with alarms and reminders. So there's two different types here, reminders and alarms. Alarms, I'm a jerk sometimes, I feel, to my kids because I'm a workaholic. Doing this podcast, I run 2 podcasts, 3 YouTube channels, a gardening business, a roofing business. There's a lot going on in my life. And I get carried away sometimes, and then I neglect my children by coming home thinking, I got to get this contract done for my roofing business. And I started just basically working on things. What I had to do was discipline myself and set an alarm. So my way of living my life and being healthy and keeping that relationship with my children nurtured is I know that I intermittent fast, so I want to eat by 5 o'clock, 6 p.m. at the latest. That way, the next day goes over, I don't eat until 11 o'clock. But I want to make sure I keep that regimented time for that, but also to play with my kids, to spend time with them. So what I'll do is I'll cook dinner, and we'll eat dinner about 6 o'clock, no later than that. After that, it's an hour and a half. My alarms goes off at 7:30. That's when I know it's time to stop playing, time to brush teeth, brush hair, change diapers, whatever it is, tuck everybody in. By the time we get done with all that, it's like 8 p.m. And that's when I put my kids down to sleep. And then after that, that's my time now to go back to work, editing videos and stuff like that. So, and I make sure 5 days a week, that's what we have going on. My kids deserve to be with me, to have time. And you got to do what you got to do for work and all that, I understand. But you know what? These kids, that's why I have such a great relationship with my kids, I have to say, is by making that time, putting in that effort, and sticking to it. Reminders is the other one, I think. For me, I don't really use reminders because I look at my appointments list every single day. A lot of you 9-to-5 blue-collar workers and stuff like that, you probably don't use look at your appointments every day. You got to show up at work. But one thing that you probably do forget is that the kid had to go to the dentist. Somebody's birthday came up or something. So there's all these apps. Utilize them on your phone. They'll send you off like an alarm or a reminder noise on your phone, maybe the day before someone's birthday or something. So you go, oh crap, I didn't get them a present. Whatever it is, I got to take them to the dentist. I need to schedule time off work, let my boss know, or your clients, whatever you do if you own your own business. So reminders and all that stuff. There's so many things going on in your day, if you're like me, where it's just crazy. And you got to try to figure everything out in your brain. To me, there's only so much space. I consider myself a person that's a man of my word, but sometimes I screw up because I only have so much mental capacity. And why work your brain like that when you could focus on other things like organizing your life, living better, gardening, producing your own food, your own energy, making more money, whatever it is, not worrying about the dentist appointment. Let your phone do that job for you, that it'll remind you. Okay, so another little one I have here is Trashcan Liners. That's it. Some of you may think this stuff is stupid, but having a special needs kid and having to change poopy diapers and stuff like that, if I run out of trash liners, it gets pretty gross, stinky really fast. And regardless if I didn't, it's still nice. Here's why. What I do is I place one trash liner in my trash can. That's for all my kitchen scraps, diapers, all that kind of trash. I don't stop there. I put a second and then I put a third one, inserted all together. What happens is I've had every once in a while a broken piece of glass or something like that. You pick up the trash bag and then you get all this rotten garbage juice dripping all over your trash can. That's disgusting and gross. And if that happens, you have a second liner to catch that. If that second one goes, you got a third one. And it's very highly unlikely that it's going to go through the third one. So it keeps your trash can clean. One less thing you got to worry about and clean up. But the other thing it does here is that I know that when I go down, when I take the third layer right off the top and I go haul my garbage, I immediately come back to grab a liner and replace it. I make a routine of it. Well, it comes to find out sometimes, hey, that's my last bag. Now I'm down to 2. That'll get me by for about a week, a couple days. But I know when I'm out that I need to put on my list to purchase me some trash bags. So very good. Well, and Think about this in your day-to-day life. Stack functions. Look at how you can make things happen. We're going to talk about that a little bit later coming up. So creating healthy routines. This might sound silly to most people, but I think it's disgusting using deodorant, and it's very bad for your health. Deodorant actually stops your from antiperspirant, stop you from sweating. What the heck chemicals do they put in there? It is known for women that it actually could contribute to breast cancer. Why would you do that? And disgusting is that it's not an antibacterial unless it has like tea tree oil or something in it. But even then, what people are doing is masking up dirty, yucky bacteria with some sort of oil paste. What I do is I drink hot lemon water every single day. And what I do is I cut a lemon in half. I warm up a hot glass of water. I squeeze half the lemon in the cup. That helps me keep regular. It helps purify my body. What I take that half of that lemon and actually like rub my armpits with it. And believe it or not, guys, it's a byproduct of my tea or my water I'm going to throw in the trash anyways. But what it does is it gives my armpits a nice lemony, fresh smell, but it kills all the bacteria. It doesn't really hold the smell for too long, but it kills all the bacteria, so you just have virtually no scent whatsoever. And guys, it'll last an entire day. Sometimes, you know, if you're very toxic, maybe at the end of the day, normal, just like deodorant's going to wear off, but it kills all the bacteria. Being in a super laborious, labor-demanding job, it works fantastic, and it's a byproduct. Why waste, right? Early morning exercise is my other healthy routine, and I try to stay on it. And what's this have to do with organizing your life? Is I got a blown shoulder, bicep muscle, and I haven't been doing it. My exercises to fix myself, the therapy that I'm needing. But if I get up, regardless if I have a blown shoulder muscle or just life in general, I find when I commit myself to even as little as a 10-minute walk, just walk. You ain't got to run. You don't have to put your jacket on. Go for a 10-minute walk. Go to the end of the block and come right back. Do that every morning and see how you feel. As far as organizing your life, it makes you feel a lot better. You get more oxygen to the brain. And if you take baby steps and do this, you'll actually become addicted to it, and it'll make you'll sleep better. You'll have marital impulses better. You'll not to have to worry about that because I've been single for like a couple of years. But it'll make you feel better, function better every single day. So those are little things that you can start to stack up. Think to yourself of all the things that you can do for yourself, healthy habits, and start implementing and stay disciplined and do them, and watch how well your life gets organized because of it. So we talked about batch, everything you can is my next note. We talked about batch cooking. So for sure, for me, I make disinfectant sprays. I'm a DIY type of person, but it takes time. You know, you can go to the store and pick it up for like, you know, $8 for, you know, a quart of the stuff in a nice handy spray bottle that pollutes the earth. Why not reuse that spray bottle and make your own out of, let me see here, vodka, like the highest distilled vodka you can find, the most powerful. I buy the cheapest of the cheap. We use hydrogen peroxide, distilled white vinegar, put about a half a jar of that, fill the other half with water. I think I'm missing something here. You can put some lavender oil or tea tree oil. I put lemon oil in mine. You buy it in large bulk. You don't have to buy organic for that kind of stuff because it's a cleaner. And shake all that stuff up. Put a little bit of soap to help for a cleaning agent, just a little bit. What I do is I make an entire jar, and then half of it goes into my spray bottle. And when I run out of that spray bottle, I already have some, you know, cleaning diapers and stuff like that in the house, guys. Sometimes you get stuck, you're like, or the toilets. I use it for everything, all natural, homeopathic. And sometimes I'm doing my chores on Sunday and I run out. You know, I'm in the middle of something. You're like, dang it, and I don't have anything else around the house. So when I pre-make it, I go to that half jar and I dump it in my spray container, and then I immediately fill it back up. That way I've got 2 more refills for myself. Do this with everything. I make diaper spray for my kid, and we use that on our trips sometimes when we go camping, you know, out in the wilderness where there's nothing. It's the extra tip for you guys is you can take that and you can spray your armpits, your privies, and all that kind of stuff and stay at least a little refreshed, you know, because I don't know about you guys, but hygiene's kind of a thing for me. I like to stay clean, and yeah, it works out really well. Spray your neck and everything, clean everything up when there's no water around. Cooking, we already talked about that. Cook way more than what you need and freeze it. That way you have those off days and you can utilize that instead of wasting money on going out to buy food. Shopping. I batch stuff when I shop. I'll buy a lot of extra things. I copycat, it's called. I find stuff on sale, buy one, get one free. I'll buy 2 and get 2 free, and I'll stock those all up. And I'll put them in my pantry. Meats, everything, utilizing my freezers, everything. Phone calls is another one for me as far as organizing your life. I don't know how many times I'm in the middle of work, doing something. I got to take my gloves off. I'm hanging off a 2-story building, and it's like, okay, answer my phone, and it's a telemarketer. I got news for you people who are telemarketing, dude. I don't care anymore. I used to have sympathy. I don't anymore. Go get a new job, dude. You guys are irritating. You guys are irritating. You know how many calls I get a day? If I hang up on you, feel bad, don't feel bad, I don't care. You guys are interrupting my business, my personal life. Anyways, done with the rant. But yeah, phone calls, what I've done to organize my life is I have distinct ringtones. I know for my daughter, my ex-wife, my dad, my mom, any family members, I know that there's a distinct phone ring and that I should probably answer that call. So what we have to is when I'm working, if I am going to have clients and stuff calling me, I do phone calls at 9 a.m., I do phone calls at noon, and I do phone calls at about 4 p.m. And by doing that, not answering my phone, texts, and everything every single day, it helps me stay very productive and not getting unfocused and distracted by doing other things. So that's a really big one for me. Bills is the other one. I try to automate everything that I can. And what I do is I take my bills and I pay them all on, like, say, Sunday on my chore day. I'll go out, and any ones that I don't have automated that I can't just put on auto pay, I'll write the checks out and everything, balance everything out, bam, and we're done. So the ones that I know a lot of you guys probably can't afford to do the auto pay, because I guess a lot of Americans barely have a few $100s in their bank at any given time. So my advice to you guys would be is if you're going to write, if you have to pay everything, do it all at once. That way you have your day off and you save a lot of time. And look at what I'm talking about, all these little things, how you can organize stuff. It's my next note is journal all your struggles. Take all your struggles and write them down. If you're very busy like me and you just had a bad day, instead of setting aside going, screw it, tomorrow's going to be a better day, write down what happened. Write down what happened and start thinking of solutions. And that's my next note. I'm going to intertwine these two, is write down ideas down as they come. So write down what went wrong, how it went wrong, why, all of this stuff, who went wrong, and then try to fix this thing so that it never happens again. I figured out a lot of stuff, like I'd forget, like certain people where I'm like, this person's not a person of their word. I asked for materials for a job or asked somebody for help, they never showed up. I know not to ask them anymore. It went wrong because I ordered a bunch of materials for a job and I didn't double check them before we opened them. They gave me the wrong stuff. That's my fault. People are incompetent. I don't consider myself competent, but I'm incompetent when I rely on people who aren't. So it's my job, my fault that I didn't check everything. So I journal everything down. Whenever somebody's helping me to, I always tell them, if I have an employee or helper, double check everything. Here's what I got to do. Manage everything. But always think of those things of how they went wrong, why they went wrong, and identify them and then deal with them and come up with those ideas. And guys, this is probably one of the most powerful things I've done in my life, is I've come up with just not organization skills, but like ideas. Like my kid, I was like, let's paint with my special needs daughter. Let's paint with chocolate pudding and tapioca pudding. We got white and brown and strawberry pudding, and we can bring out a big old piece of paper and she could taste it while we're drawing pictures and make it fun. Little ideas like that. You know what? There's a book I remember when I was a kid. I should write that down. Movies. I just showed my daughter, my oldest daughter, Lord of the Flies. Holy moly, guys. What a crazy message that movie is. I think it was back in the 90s. Such a powerful, powerful movie. And, it teaches people a lot. When those movies come up, I write them all down in a list. And whenever I'm sitting with my kid and she's like, let's watch a movie, I'm like, I got a bunch of cool stuff that you've probably never seen before. Old ones that you think probably suck, but they're actually pretty cool. And she's watched them and was like, wow, show me another one. And then I sit there thinking, like, what movies? What's good movies? As you think of all these wonderful things, write them down. And I guess it falls into the category of organizing your life, but it makes stuff fun. And I keep adding things constantly in my life and improving things. That's probably my other biggest one, is that there's always room for improvement. I see something that's going on. I'll give you guys one last one. I was camping on my mini retirement this year, and we had chairs the year before and stuff, and I had this awning that I set up. And we're in the sand, and sometimes it'd rain, and there's a little bit of mud and stuff like that, so there's no place to really sit. So I went and I thought to myself, it'd be nice to sleep outside on a cot under the stars. So I bought myself an extra large, big, fat guy cot for to accommodate my big, fat dad belly here. And lo and behold, when we were out, the kids lived on it. They would sit in the chairs, but they just loved to snuggle. I slept outside. It made things better. And I was like, oh, that is awesome. I'm going to get me one more for next year. And it's just those little things that add up to huge stuff. I'm hoping next year, if I go on my mini retirement, that I'll actually sleep with my oldest daughter side by side on our 2 cots, you know, watching the stars, talking until we fall asleep, and having a beautiful moment. So it's things like that, these ideas that can literally change your life, change your future, and really help you out for the better. And speaking of that, if I have, guys, if I've given you guys any value, please like, subscribe, help me share the show, help me get it off the ground by commenting. You guys, it really, the algorithms need it to, that's what keeps the lights on here, and it keeps me fired up to keep, and only to keep everything going for you guys, but only if I've given you guys value. So guys, that's the show.